Podcast is on your radio. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is on your radio. Say the podcast is on your radio. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is on your radio. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is on your radio. M's up, come on. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is on your radio. M's up, come on. Yeah, I bought the party, yo. I got the money, yo. I'm about to bum me, yo. Say the podcast is on your radio. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is on your radio.
Hey everybody, this is Sean V. Bradley, president of Dealer Synergy. Bam, baby. And the creator of the Millionaire Car Salesman Network. And I got a special guest here. This is somebody I truly respect. He's making waves in the industry, Mr. Paul Daly. And he's going to be representing the Automotive State of the Union conference coming up. So what's up, Paul? How you doing, brother?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me. I forgot that you had that on the forum because you usually wearing button-ups.
Yeah. Oh, and then I got some new ink here too for jiu-jitsu. So I just got my vision board. I've been training.
Is that a chess piece?
Yes, because jiu-jitsu is physical chess, and it's wrapped into a Gracie jiu-jitsu black belt. So I'm currently a brown belt, and it took me 20 years to get to that level. So I'm this close to getting my Gracie black belt, which actually means something to us martial artists. You know what I mean? But
that's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Congratulations and good luck.
For sure. You know what's crazy, brother? Have you ever heard of the ADCC? You know what that is?
ADCC?
Yeah, the ADCC stands for the Abu Dhabi Combat Club. It is the UFC for no-gi grappling. So my crazy ass has just signed up myself and my two sons on July 6th. We're going to be flying to Orlando to join the US Opens for advanced brown black belt.
Does this mean you're competing?
Yes, at the highest levels in the world.
Let me just stop you there because last year at the NAMED conference, when I was like, yo, you going to break dance again? You're like, no, man, I'm too old for that. Here you are joining this gi-less grappling. I'm sure it's a little harder on your body than breakdancing, but maybe not. I don't do either.
I was just breakdancing at IS-20G. I'll send you the clip. I was doing my trademark power head slide into the freeze move. I had to. The people needed it, but
decent.
Yeah. So again, it keeps me sane. And it just talking about chess. I believe that, for me, jiu-jitsu is therapy. I mean, all kidding aside, where can you choke the shit out of somebody without catching a case? You know what I mean? So it's the best stress reliever in the world. But let's get into it, man.
Yeah, I'm sure in that moment when you're choking someone out or you're getting choked out, you're not thinking about much else.
No.
Which for an entrepreneur is like, that rarely exists in life.
For sure. And you have to be, you can't be worried about anything else. Like when I'm on the mats and I'm competing with a high level opponent, I can't worry about an up. I can't worry about a dealership not listening. I can't worry about making money. I got to worry about not getting choked out in front of
That's right. Survival instinct kicks in. I like this.
No doubt. So listen, first of all, I'm super excited for you because we just did Baltimore, and I think Baltimore is a very quiet, best kept secret. A lot of people don't realize how dope Baltimore is with the Inner Harbor and stuff. So tell us about the event. Like, when is it happening? Where is it at?
Yeah. So the event is just south of BWI Airport. So if you're familiar, there's like Baltimore City. BWI is just a little bit south of that. The venue is just a little south of that. It's the Live Casino Hotel. Beautiful venue. It's got a massive event space. It's actually built for like concerts and things like that. And then it's got a little conference spot and a nice casino, lots of nice restaurants, big hotel right there. And so that's where the event is at. This is our second year here. It's our third year having the event, May 14th through 17th. And and so we're excited to be back at the same venue for the first time because we've kind of been building Automotive State of the Union for 4 years now. We're in the fourth year. And this is the first time we've gotten to do something twice.
Right.
It's always like that first, like, oh, let's figure this out. And then you're like, next time we'll do it this way. But so we're really happy to be in the same venue again.
And I'm going to say to all my listeners, I'm going to tell you, I was really appreciative that I was extended an invite to attend the last year's Automotive State of the Union conference at the Live Casino in Baltimore. And I got to tell you, for someone that's been in the industry for 25 years, done all the events, I do my own events, that stage is probably the sexiest, most awesome main stage that I have ever seen in the automotive industry. Okay.
Wow. Thank you.
No, no, bro, listen to me. And I did the live casino in
Yeah.
January 2022 in Philadelphia, and they
Yep.
had a pretty awesome, environment, but their stage in Philadelphia wasn't as lit, as awesome as the Baltimore stage. So I want to just say, hands down, as a speaker, that's one of the coolest stages. You feel like you are, Tony Robbins or
Yeah.
one of these gigantic,
I know it.
speakers, or Jay-Z or Beyonce, whatever your gender is, you know what I mean? Like you feel like you're a rock star on that stage. And I think that, you know, it's not easy going to conferences and speaking. So as a speaker, it's kind of fun, whether you're a dealer or you're a vendor, to get on a stage at that level. It feels like you are what you are in the major league. So kudos to you and your team for scouting out the venue. And I agree with you. When you do an event at one location, especially if it's not your home base, you're limited in prepping. But after you've executed an event, you could go back, study the tape. What did you do differently? What could you make easier, better, more fun? So I think that doing this at the live casino again is going to be even better this time. So kudos to you guys. And I
Yeah.
wouldn't lose that. Like, I'm telling you right now, that venue, don't be surprised. People are going to go there like, wait a minute, I need to book this. So
Yeah. We literally might outgrow it this year.
wow.
We've been having that conversation. Last year we had like just under 300. We had like 290 last year. We're already tracking over 400 right now, but we've been selling a lot of tickets every day. Like we did like 30 in the last day and a half. Like, so we could be 500 plus, and we max out at this venue at 600, just not because it can seat more, but like if you're at a concert,
Right,
obviously we need tables, we need people,
right,
places for people
right,
to
right.
eat. And so we might get another year out of it. We might, but we'll see.
Listen, enjoy the ride up as you scale. Couple questions for you. Who is the targeted audience for the conference?
People practicing on the front line. So we have several tracks of this year. We have a pretty substantial fixed ops track too. Fixed ops, leadership, sales. We're actually talking a lot about different sales models this year. A lot of marketing and data content. We have a lot of the smartest marketers and data people coming to the event. I'm tied in kind of closely with the Auto Genius community because of my business partner Kyle. And so people who are like doing things on the front lines of dealerships, we have 90 plus speakers, a lot of which, the majority of which are dealers, GMs, sales managers, marketing directors, sharing best practices. Even one that a lot of people are like, I want to know more about that. I'm doing it, but I'm not good at it yet, is mobile service. We have a panel on mobile service with, in my mind, one of the best, most progressive practitioners in the industry. It's Bozard Ford, Ed Roberts. We're going to have his mobile fixed ops director, Jeremy Stevens. So he's got a fixed ops director and a mobile fixed ops director. And they're scaling. I think they have like already in like 20 vans on
Well,
the road.
let's pause, because a lot of people are not familiar with mobile, resources.
Yeah,
I got acclimated this with some of my dealers. So can you break that down?
sure.
How do they do it, and what's the value, and why should dealers even consider having a mobile strategy?
Yeah, this one's kind of close to my heart. My first business was a mobile reconditioning business where we had, 30 vans across the Northeast doing reconditioning service. And mobile service is same principle. You're bringing the service facility to the customer. So Ford has kind of been first in the water from the OEM standpoint to resource their dealers and put a lot of R&D money into this. So a lot of Ford Lincoln, first ones in. You're going to have a van like a large Transit. It's going to have a wheel balancer, a mounted balancer in there. It's going to have oil change equipment, some basic lifts, basic tool sets. And this is where customers can schedule the van to come out to them, perform the service. A lot of times they've been using this as a diagnostic opportunity, right? Like you come down and maybe it's an O2 sensor. I don't know. A code is on, it's warranty work, whatever. And you drive out there, you diagnose the vehicle, get paid to diagnose it. If you can fix it there, you do. If not, now you can schedule. You don't have to go through the diagnostic part where you have a lift tied up to diagnose it. They come in, they get the repair done. And so Ed Roberts, they're leaning into it. They literally have a mobile service director meets every morning with the service techs. And obviously, it's a new territory.
Yeah.
Customers want things done at their location. They want it done conveniently, whether at their office or at their home. And a lot of times that is a possibility. but obviously introduces a ton of complexity, right? Even just think of it from a parts standpoint. Now, as a parts director or a parts manager, is like you have inventory now, not only in one place in the parts room, not only in two places in the service bay in the parts room. Now you have it like wandering around the town. So, but also, I mean, it's also people are using that to tether off their parts delivery business. It's a little bit complex, but the people who are doing it well, I think are going to conquest a lot of service business.
Let's talk about this. We didn't have this plan, but my mind is flying with these concepts here. Think of a restaurant. Like, I don't know if you ever met Joe Argento. It's my brother-in-law. He used to work for us years ago. He was a GSM at a Chrysler dealership. Now for the last several years, he owns Mama's Meatballs. Barstools, yeah, Barstools. The guy who owns Barstool Sports actually did a whole thing on him and blew up the company. They're making over $1.5 million a year at this
in meatballs.
Meatballs, right?
A lot of meatballs.
But here's the thing, though. Not only are they meatballs and pizza restaurant, they have a food truck. And what happens is a lot of times people, don't realize, restaurant owners, that there's a whole nother business with catering and having these food trucks and going to events. Hell, even with dealerships, because of who we are with dealerships, having the food truck go there. So my analogy is, I think it's absolutely brilliant and about time that we are looking at business a different way. It's that whole book, Who Moved My Cheese? If we keep doing what we're doing, we're going to keep getting what we're getting. If we're not evolving with the times, we're really going backwards.
Yeah.
Our friend Damian Mills, said privately to me and my wife, he said, listen, the companies, he whispered, he said, the companies that make things so easy, so simple, so stupid, make people lazy. He used the word lazy, right? Are the ones that make the most money.
Great insight.
It's so true. If there's a way that we could make it, like, let's just talk about this. People don't want to go to the dealership, sit in a service department. And we do know that some service departments don't have loaner cars. They only have shuttle cars. So now, how do we take that out? How do we make it more convenient, and how can we get more ROs? Well, okay, we could keep staffing our service bays, our appointments and all that stuff, but now we could put mobile trucks out there, whether it's for service and parts. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, real estate's kind of expensive. Like, what does it cost to add enough service area to fit more lifts into your business?
And it's also, it's also advertisement, because if the vehicles are wrapped or they're branded, and you're seeing this in there, like, I have never in my life, in my town or in my area, ever seen mobile service. Because if I did, I'm like, what the hell is that? That's
absolutely
cool.
Well, you think about it too. It's not just advertising and branding, which it is, but when I mentioned Conquest, you're a Ford dealer. There's 7 other Ford dealers in your vicinity. And all of a sudden, that you can get mobile service from one versus the other. Like, why wouldn't you have it be the convenient way? On top of that, when you're in that van, like, you're driving by a lot of used car lots and your competitors that have your brand still under warranty on their used car lot, that without a doubt are going to need warranty repairs, without a doubt are going to need, like, the people who are grabbing the opportunity now, it's like beachfront property, right? They're going to get all the beachfront property.
Yes. I love it.
Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is on your radio.
In the heart of the lights, under the bright neon lights, then Q stands ready, making everything right. With data in hand, they're paving the way for dealers to shine come night or day. Thank you in the automotive game, changing the rules, never the same. With insights so sharp and solutions so true, they're the partner you need through and through. From the price on the tag to the cars in demand, they guide with precision, with the upper hand in a world that's always shifting. They keep you alive, ensuring success with every car you find. Thank you and through. So here's to thank you, the leader, the gods. Let the symphony begin.
let's dissect this. I don't know what your full background is, but I'm sure that you know the NADA formula. NADA's formula says that fixed operations should be about 65% of the dealership's profits, and it should cover all of the expenses. The variable ops is obviously the difference, which will be roughly about 35% of overall profit should be from variable, and that should be the profit of the organization. Have you heard that similar formula before?
Yeah. Yeah. I actually know dealers who are profitable before they even open their sales door.
Yes.
Right? Before they
So,
even open in the morning, they're like, I'm
so
profitable.
yeah. And so the problem is that when we are in our zone, I'm a salesperson, I don't need to worry about service. No, you got to understand it's not just instant gratification. NADA says that a service customer is 7 times as likely to purchase a vehicle from where they're servicing a car from. And there's so much opportunity. There's a whole section of people that are unsold service customers, meaning the ROs are cleared, but they've never purchased a vehicle from where they service the vehicle from. So I love this. So can you talk about what specifically besides the mobile service stuff, what could I learn if I wanted to better myself for fixed operations at the dealership?
A big one is technician hiring and recruiting.
Ooh, talk to me about it because I get
Having
all
an
time.
awesome session on that. This one is actually going to be moderated by Dan Shine, who is the senior editor at Automotive News. He covers fixed ops. He's the moderator of the panel. We have Liza Myers-Borches, who everybody or a lot of people know. One of the best technician recruiters I've ever seen, starting from high school development all the way through. We have Adam Robinson, who is the CEO and founder of Hierology. I think is what he said on our panel prep card, that 1 in 4 automotive applications goes through his platform. So he's got a few insights there on what works and what doesn't work. And then we have our good friend Patrice Banks, Girls Auto Clinic in Philly, only does technicians, right? She doesn't have sales department, is only service. And they are going to talk about tips, tricks, best practices, things that they're doing that are working to hire and recruit more technicians. So again, very hot topic and very necessary thing for dealers who want to win to be good at, like real good.
I love it. Okay, let's talk. Let's just flip this for our audience here. Let's
Sure.
just give them some nuggets. This is what I get all the time. I just had a conversation with the sales professional for coaching, and a lot of managers say work the service drive, work the service drive, work the service drive, but most people don't. And I've nailed down 2 reasons. They either don't know how or they don't care enough. So the people that don't care enough, I don't want to even address them. Okay. But the people that do, they would like to, they just don't know how. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to engage. There's different strategies. Do you work with the service writers? Do you split the service writers? Or do you just up people and have conversations? Or do you use software to be, data mining software, CRM software to be able to engineer and say, hey, I know these people are coming at service tomorrow. Who can I lower the payment by $10? There's all these different strategies.
Yes is the answer to all your questions.
Good. So then, but
I didn't think about used car acquisition in terms of mobile service.
Yeah, bro.
Right?
Yeah, bro.
I mean,
yes.
can you imagine you get a technician who can actually like talk to people?
Yeah.
That dude could be, or gal could be writing ROs and buying cars.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Listen,
I gotta go.
I don't know if you heard of D-Pen. D-Pen is a loyal tribe person from my Millionaire Car Salesman.
Yep.
Transgender,
Yep.
African American I think in Virginia, right?
Okay.
Just crazy down south place. So
Salesperson.
He just won most innovator. Like, this is the person that's pushing the envelope in technology and everything. D is multiple salesperson of the year. And recently he, besides being salesman of the year on the floor, outselling everybody by far, he just got fully cross-trained as a service writer. Okay. Not to work in there for the mobile service. So I do have dealers that
Oh my gosh.
He works at Win Ford. So he is a salesperson that is crushing it. But he said, you know what? How much better of a salesperson would I be if I understood the majority of the business?
That is brilliant.
If I knew about the ownership experience, the service experience. Because remember those Badger commercials? The one I remember.
I love them.
Hey, where's the service model? Look at this suit. Do I look like I sell cars? I don't fix them. I mean, and that's the old school mentality, but they're so right. People are going to spend the vast majority of their time in the ownership experience, not the buying experience.
Absolutely.
So if salespeople knew that and they were cross-trained on being able to give advice, be able to give, direction like a service writer. I mean,
absolutely. My first job in automotive was a service advisor. That was actually the first I had never been in a dealership my entire life until I was in my early 20s.
I wish I never had that experience.
Yeah. And when I went in, it was like my first job was a service advisor. That's where I fell in love with the industry. I can only imagine, like, having spent a lot of time back there, understanding the missed opportunity between sales and service, and like we'll call it front of the house, back of the house.
Yes.
If you're a service advisor and you understand that game and you can be a trusted advisor to your sales clients, you would build such a book of business, because you would just become the person they call and text. And the wrong mindset would be like, well, I don't want people bothering me with no, I want them calling me every time, all the time. I want them to feel like I am their one person that they need to take care of their vehicle. Oh, and plus, here's another thing. You know what it's like when all of a sudden you ask for something, you're a salesperson, you ask for something from the service department. One of the things, a big friction point in a lot of dealerships is like, you don't understand, right? You need to understand how it works back here. And it goes both ways. And if all of a sudden you're a trained service advisor that knows your stuff, you eliminate that point of friction and you have credibility. And guess what happens? Well, you know how the system works. And when you know how the system works, you can use it to your advantage. And the people on the other side also are going to be willing, like, oh, he understands us. Like, let me take care of what they need. Like, that's brilliant, man. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, listen, it makes so much sense. I study greatness for a living, as you do, and I have the privilege to be able to meet and work with like Cody Carter's, Ali Redda's, and Chrissy Burton's, and these super high performers. And they're super smart. I mean, Cody just sold 1,408 units last year at Tustin Toyota.
Oh my
made
God.
1. I don't know if you know, I work with Toyota manufacturer in the Chicago region. So I have an official Toyota OEM contract. I work with 112 of their rooftops, and it's verified by Toyota corporate. This dude is the #1 car salesman in the world right now. I love Ali, you know what I mean? But Ali now has got 2 salespeople on his team and some other things here. What Ali, I know for a fact, what Frank Crinitti and what Chrissy Burton and what Cody Carter, those 4 superstars do, they do not allow the experience that they create to be jeopardized in any way, shape, or form by anybody else. They are the liaison. They're not going to go put the oil in, but they are definitely involved in all the process. It's service, recalls. You know that Ali blew my mind when he told me, and same thing with Cody Carter, that they've got relationships with tow truck companies and things like that. They don't want you to call roadside assistance. You call Ali 2-3 o'clock in the morning. This guy makes $1.5 million selling cars.
This is why.
And exactly, because at 1 o'clock in the morning, you blew my mind. Cody Carter has an Uber account. Brother, take a wild guess how much he pays out of his pocket for Uber service. He's got an Uber business account with dashboards. It's almost like a control center where you're navigating.
So he's picking people up, getting them where they need to go.
Bro, picking up and dropping off. Not only that, loaner cars and things like that, transportation. He spends $5,000 a month, which in all fairness, he makes about $100,000 to $112,000 a month in gross income.
It's still, that's
$5,000 a month. He spends $6,000 a year just in
taking care of his people.
Because, brother, if we could focus on the ownership experience and help them through that, again, you're going to have a higher probability of referral generation. But if we just sell them and forget them, or only call them once a quarter or every 6 months when our CRM to-do list happens, you're not building that relationship. You're only withdrawing from the emotional bank account. Right or wrong?
I love that. I love that story. I didn't know any of those.
Yeah,
I didn't know any of those.
We gotta connect more. I'm saying,
listen, we're both usually just running flat out.
No, we are. We are. But Covey says, schedule your priorities. Don't prioritize your schedule, which means to me is that, again, honestly, at our levels of doing stuff, it's hard to learn and sharpen the saw. Like iron sharpens iron, like again, you can't go to a financial advisor. I can't go to a financial advisor that makes $30,000 a year and ask him where I'm going to put my millions of dollars. That's not a good, smart conversation I would
Yeah.
have. But if I'm talking to another multimillionaire or somebody that's a billionaire, which I'm not at,
Yep.
I want to know what they're doing with their money. See what I'm
Please. Yeah. Agree. Full agree. Man, I love this conversation. It's getting me thinking.
Yeah.
It's getting me thinking.
So
big time.
then the question is this then. What would you advise? Because I didn't know your service background. If like talk to me like I am a fresh sales consultant and I come to him like, hey, Paul, I heard that you worked the service writer before the gig and you know about that. I keep having all these managers tell me work the service drive, work the service drive. I get it. These people are coming in for service, but if they're coming in for service, how is that going to help me sell cars? What advice do you have for me?
Coming from the service department, the reason I'm having a hard time is because if buying cars or giving trade valuations in the service department aren't part of the dealer system, there's just going to be so much friction there. Like I think the sales manager, the GM, and the service advisor, they have to, or service manager have to be on the same page with this.
I agree.
I mean, and so like I don't know. Spend time around the service department. Don't just walk through, right? Like have lunch with the service advisors would be actually my first one.
All right. I'll give you a couple scenarios and tell me if you like these or if you want to elaborate. Let's build together. Okay. So here's an idea for Tiana that we did. All right. So, and her whole T Got Your Keys brand and what have you. So watch this. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
And so this is a podcast. Obviously, what you guys don't see is I'm going to go to Google and I'm typing in custom donut boxes. So I'm going to go old school because I'm old, and then I'm going to go new school stuff. So when I do custom donut boxes, check this out. There are donut boxes that you could create that you could put your logo. So can you imagine T Got Your Keys? Then what we do is we go to Krispy Kreme or Dunkin' Donuts, and we now have T Got Your Keys donuts that are there. We could have cups that are there with stuff that the dealership doesn't already have, right? And then I could just have conversations. This is old school. I could just start having conversations. The problem with that is time. If I'm a salesperson, I don't want to talk to somebody that might be somebody else's customer, right? But if I don't have any sophistications, I could do it that way. Second way is with CRM, usually like Vin Solutions, today who's coming in for a service appointment and who's coming in tomorrow. So what you can do is if I know that my customers are coming in today, you want to do a PR call. You want to you don't just expect to just sell another car. That might happen. You're doing it to be a brand ambassador. You're doing it to do customer service. You're doing it to perpetuate the relationship.
Like it, PR call.
100%. You want to just have but in doing so, and you qualify them, you might identify when they are in the market for vehicle. It might be today or in the near future, or who do they know that might be in the market for your vehicle now or in the future? Or you might be able to find out an opportunity they might want to sell their car. So there might be a sales opportunity, it might be an acquisition opportunity, or it might be a referral opportunity. You're not going to know unless you are proactive. The other way is if I'm a salesperson, I would go to my dealership and I would ask them, hey, what resources, tools can you provide me so I could work the service drive? If they haven't, I'd say, hey, I heard that there is something called unsold service customers. These are people that have never purchased a vehicle ever before, but they service. Can you give me that list of people? And then I would start to call those people.
So good.
Relationships with. What do you got? Build on that. Give me something.
So good. I mean, it's simple relationship building, right? Yeah. Like that really is bird dogging it. But back to you just said, right? Like schedule your priority, right? And if buying more cars, especially if you're new, right? You're trying to build your book of business. If no one's going after that, that is a gold mine. Unsold service customers. I can't give you anything better than that, because if the dealership's not doing anything, you know what's going to happen if you start doing that. You're going to start to sell a lot of cars. And before you know it, everyone else is going to be like, huh?
Yes. In your backyard for your conference, you might even look into this. There's a woman, we work with Coons Automotive for that's like 4.5 years. There's a store that the Coons owns called White Marsh Chevrolet, and I think of White Marsh, Maryland. And there's a woman named Brittany Anderson there. Brother, she sells 50 to 60 cars a month, and 18 to 20 cars a month, like clockwork, are coming from the service department. I interviewed her on the Millionaire Car Salesman on this podcast before, and she just murdered it. But what she said, and I agree, there's two main strategies, and I'd love your opinion on this.
Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is on your radio.
In the digital world, where the cars are kings, there's a name in the game, making dealers sing. Dealer process, oh, they lead the way, transforming dreams in digital display. Dealer process, shining so bright. In the digital world, they are the light. Websites and marketing, all in one place, helping dealers win the online race. From SEO to the social media streams, they craft the campaigns, they fuel the dreams. Innovation at the heart of all they do, bring the future of car sales into view. Technology and strategy side by side, they navigate the digital tide. In a world that's always online, they make sure the dealerships shine. Dealer process in the lead, with every tool that dealers need. In the race for the digital space, they help you win, they set the pace.
Strategy number one is that you can just be proactive in whether it's software or just manual efforts, just go directly to the prospect. Or what she does is that she hits off and incentivizes the service writers. So she works the service writers. So I find that there's two big, thoughts here. Circumvent the service writer and just work with the prospect directly or client. Or second, rely on building a relationship, because most times salespeople don't bother, getting to know, building a relationship with the service writers unless they need something.
Yep, exactly.
So she's saying, no. What you need to do is work with them, understand what they need, understand how they make money. And if you help somebody, whether it's in resources, education, or in money, then it is a lot easier for them to want to help you and perpetuate your business. Instead of mine, think of we.
I mean, this principle reminds me just of, did you wait tables? Did you work in hospitality?
I was a waiter and I sucked at it. And that was my job when I'm
surprised that you sucked at it, actually.
No, I was very successful at it, making money because I had a great personality, but
yeah.
I sucked at actually the physical.
Oh, like the physical side. I was going to say, man, that really surprises me that you sucked at being a waiter. It's just
no. The person I made a ton of money.
I know, like I was going to say that's but it reminds me. I spent a lot of time waiting tables through college, and I would always take care of the bussers,
yes,
and take care of the bar, right? Yes. It's the same principle, because when a table needs to get bussed and it's mine or somebody else's, guess what? They're going to do mine first. Same thing with the drink. Same thing with this. They're looking out for me, right? They want you to be successful because you want them to be successful. And again, back to like you said, what you do is like have lunch with the service advisors, buy them lunch. Yeah. Like it doesn't cost a lot of money, but this is basic relationship building and networking. Like the salespeople you mentioned who are doing 1.5 million, right? They're actually just business people. They're entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Right. And you have to think like an entrepreneur. If you want to be that level of successful, it's entrepreneurial, right? I'm assessing my resources and I'm maximizing the resources, aligning them to an objective, and I'm getting creative about it. So I like it. It's what do they call it? Entrepreneur.
Yes.
Right? I like you have to think like that. Like you just are. And if you don't think like that, then you're going to be like, just get happy with 14 cars a month and like get there. And that's it.
That's crazy.
But you're the reason people are in this community is because they're not happy with 14 a month.
100%, bro. They want to do more.
This is not that group.
So speaking of which, your event, I was going through the whole speaker roster. Now, I know that you're backed by some dealer principals or partners, which I think is amazing. It gives it that more authenticity. But you've got some rock star. Did I see that you have the chairman and CEO of NADA?
Yeah, Mike Stanton. Yeah.
Okay, and you've got obviously a bunch of
We have actually this year we have many dealer associations being represented there.
Like who?
So Peter Kitzmiller, Maryland. We have John Devlin, the president of Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania Auto Dealer Association. We have Don Hall, the president of Virginia Auto Dealer Association, on a panel with Mike Stanton, president of NADA. The Maryland Auto Dealer Association is actually, they reached out to us before ASOTUCon to see if they could do their annual meeting in conjunction with ASOTUCon. So we've put a lot
Did
of
you keep a
effort.
straight face when you said yes?
What?
Did you keep a
Like,
straight-
I don't know. I don't know.
Because
Well, I mean,
I would have been like,
there's food and
yeah,
yeah.
no, brother, are you kidding me?
Do you need microphones?
I don't know if we want to put this on the air, but we will, again, because we're very transparent. But I'm super impressed. I'm super impressed. I've been doing this for 25 years. That is one of my secrets that I have is work with these associations. When we did the Boston IS20G, we were working officially with the MSADA, the Massachusetts State Auto Dealer Association, and I'm working with Toyota Manufacturer in the Boston region. And that's going to not only add more credibility and resources, but also as the event planner, it has a lot of members. You have a lot of attendees because of that.
Built
So
in.
kudos to you. There's a lot of people that crash and burn in our industry doing conferences because everybody thinks it's easy to do a conference. Everybody thinks it could be a
It is
trainer.
so
Everybody thinks it could
hard.
be a conference. It is so hard.
Well, I mean, look, dealers are busy. They have a lot of stuff to do. And to
Yes.
convince them, it's not even about the ticket price for the dealers.
No.
Right? Like they can afford it. It's about the time away from the store. And
But
is
wait a
the
minute, hold on.
time.
It doesn't matter if they can afford it, even if you give it to them for free. Even if
Oh
you
my gosh,
prompt
yeah.
them. Yeah, so yeah, it's
No, that doesn't
time.
matter.
No, it's
No,
not the price of the
and
ticket.
it is the time. And so like the dealer association relationships that are growing, we're about Automotive State of the Union is about this more than cars community. So we're always like, how can we come alongside other people that are in the same fight, right? Like WOCAN is doing a breakfast meetup at our event. We're like, let's find you some space. Let's do this. And so we're constantly trying to like bring other sub communities in. We just have a lot of amazing speakers. Brian Benstock's doing keynote night number 1. So I'm sure he's gonna his keynote is early to bed, early to rise, work your ass off and advertise. And so he's gonna give us full Benstock. We have Danelle Delgado is gonna be our opening keynote. We have Will Guidara, New York Times best-selling author of Unreasonable Hospitality. And then in the middle of all that, we just have practitioner after practitioner of people who are at the top of their game. And it just comes, I mean, like, you know how it is. It's like stuff doesn't happen overnight. These are lifetimes of working at building relationships. And you know this too very well. If you're going to have an event, like you have to approach it. How am I going to bring my speakers value? Mm-hmm. Right? Like, how am I going to deliver to them something when they go home? They're like, that was worth my time.
Right.
Because like, if you're a dealer, your manager speak, like you don't get paid to do this, right? You come out, you actually pay for yourself to get out there. Right. Because that's the way the industry works. And so it really is like a two-sided marketplace. Like we need to deliver like whatever a dealer is looking for to participate. A lot of times that's learning other best practices from the co-panelists. So we put a lot of time and energy into making sure the chemistry in a panel is right and people will glean from one another. And also like a lot of people just want to share their insights. Like a lot of people help them learn and they want to help other people learn. So yeah, I mean, I look at the roster and I look at the schedule. The saddest part of ASOTUCon for me is the fact that I can only be in one place at one time. And a lot of the time there's 3 things going on.
The good news is you record it so you can watch it.
You record everything. Yes.
Which I want to bring up something to our audience is that I think that one thing that kind of makes me sad is that not enough people, whether you're sales, management, or dealer principals, invest in their own success. And so I don't know if you know this, Paul, but I'm gonna give you a little background of Sean Bradley here. When I was selling cars, I put myself through web design training, learn how to code in HTML, learn how to code in dynamic HTML, and learn how to, cut and clip JavaScript. I put myself into the International Academy of SEO, going through Moz and following Rand Fishkin and everything on the SEO level. I put myself into Toastmasters, into the NSA, into Franklin Covey, into SkillPath seminars and training. I poured into myself, not knowing anything that there was a different way. But when I had my nationally syndicated radio show and I was interviewing people outside the automotive industry from the NBA, NFL, millionaires, and all this other stuff, what I found is that very, very successful people, highly successful people, have 3 habits that are, that correlate with the majority of them. One is they invest in themselves. They invest in their own education. Second is they invest in their business. They grow their business, marketing, advertising, branding, relationships, whatever. And then when there's money, real money being made, they invest in their money, meaning they're doing things, they're buying assets that are going to, yield passive income and appreciation and things like that. So I say all this for one powerful statement. To everybody listening, stop dragging your feet or dragging your knuckles. Invest in your education, invest in yourself. And think about, why is Sean Bradley, that just did his own conference, having a meeting with Paul? And Paul's probably thinking that a little bit to himself. Why? It's
Yeah,
because
I know.
I love this industry, brother. I love this industry, and I want to see more education, more synergy, more networking, more collaboration. Because if your event is a success, then our industry is going to be better off for it.
That's
If,
right.
if we have people that are just, oh, I have my event and nobody else's event is good, then you're silly. That does not how it works. You can go to, so for my IS20G people, if you were just in Baltimore, go back. Baltimore's dope. You had a lot of fun a couple weeks ago. Go to this event. Go to Paul and learn from all these people. That's one thing nobody could ever take back from you, is your education, your experiences, your network. Paul, you want to freestyle on this? Do you agree with what I'm saying, or what?
I fully agree. Anyone who thinks that they own the lane in education in automotive is just delusional. Like
Yeah.
even NADA knows that they don't own the game in education, and they have the most robust program that's been around for as long as the industry, pretty much. Another thing is, like, no two dealers are the same.
Yes.
No two system. You could sell the same franchise you could be the same franchise, same store size, similar market type, and you're going to do things very differently still. And so that's why there's different types of training, different personalities, different motivators, right? Like people just gravitate toward people that have, shared values as them. So like, and, so you have like, there are some people who are very like motivation driven, right? Like motivate me, motivate. Yeah, let's go. And then some people are like, that kind of annoys me. Right. And both are very successful in their own way. Right. They both have motivation. They just approach it in a different way. And so like, it's an abundance mentality. It's approaching education with an abundance mentality and be like, hey, like the people who want to learn are always going to seek out more ways to learn. And if I send someone to your content and they connect with it, guess what? I become the one that told them about the band they never heard of. And now it's their favorite album. You know what I mean? Like, I think everybody wins. And so like people like you and I spent some time together at the NAMAD conferences.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Right. And you see it again. Like it's a whole other education track, a whole other group that thinks in a different way and are like crushing it in ways that like the NAMAD community needs to start sharing best practices back. Right. Because boy, they got some lightning wrapped up in there that like, you know what I'm saying?
100%. We just had as one of our keynote speakers, Andre Petrosky from the UFC. And one of the things that was really awesome having him there, because as a trainer, it was the best visual analogy I could give. Andre, he's on the Renzo Gracie team. So for jiu-jitsu, he's learning from the Gracie family in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. For striking, he works with Eddie Torres, who is one of the world's top strikers. He just flew to Thailand specifically to practice Muay Thai kickboxing in Thailand. He does judo. One of his closest contacts is Kayla Harrison, is a two-time gold medalist in judo, and she just fought and whipped Holly Holm's ass on April 13th at UFC 300. So true major performers, professionals in combat sports like martial arts, they're going to diversify. Take Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. Like I was with Tim Grover. I did an event. I spoke with Tim Grover. We spoke on the same stage at Lightspeed conference. And Tim was explaining, man, like these super high performer athletes, they don't just have one coach. Let's say Kobe Bryant, for example, you might have your basketball coach, but then you have a strength and conditioning coach. Then you got a nutritionist. Then you have a financial planner. And then you got this. So it's more than one thing or one place to raise a superstar business or superstar, champion, so again,
absolutely
encourage everybody to diversify their education and like the lottery says, you've got to be in it to win it.
That's right.
Got to be in it to win it, brother.
My biggest hope is that for anyone who does come to ASOTUCon is that you get those 1 to 3 new contacts in your phone. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's the people, like you were just saying, like Tim, you have these coaches. And sometimes it's a professional relationship where you pay the person to coach you. Yes. A lot of times it turns into more of a mentoring relationship. And it's not like a thing of like, I'm older than you, I'm younger than you, I'm richer than you, whatever. Everyone's got different zones. I would call them zones of genius, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's got different things that they can teach someone else. And I think that when you come to live events, you have the opportunity to meet people who are in an open mind, in a like, let's collaborate, let's help each other learn. And I mean, having the right person's number at the right time to be able to text them a question
Yes.
and have them answer it could literally just be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe millions of mistakes and wasted time. And so in my life, it's been that way in the sense that like having the right person to ask at the right time has been more valuable than honestly any level of education.
I love it, man. And listen, I learned something from Grant directly that changed my paradigm on certain things. I don't know about you, but I could tell you right now, when I create the IS-20G, it is a minimum of a 6-month production, in doing the event planning, the coordination from the hotel, the catering, the entertainment, the speakers, the track, the marketing, the advertising. And we're talking about hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars is what an event costs in staff, in time,
commitment. Heck
product,
yes.
all this
Like
stuff.
real dollars. Not like,
No, we're
not
talking
even
about
talking about like sweat equity. Like this is real money.
yeah,
Deposits.
So, exactly. So here's the thing. I don't know if you talk to your people like this, but I want to help you with this concept because I want to shake my prospects too sometimes. I'm like, guys, do you have any freaking idea what it costs to put on?
Oh, the answer is no.
They have no idea.
Can I get a free ticket? It's like, no.
But that's my whole point is that if we're spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars cash,
we're risking
equity,
hundreds of thousands, not just spending, risking.
So then like, if it was me, like when Grant said that, can you imagine for him when he has Mike Tyson?
Oh no, absolutely.
It's a whole different level. You know what I mean? When you do that, then you wonder, okay, I understand why seats are $2,000 or $5,000 or $20,000. He said, if it cost me $5 million to put on this show to do this, why would you not spend $5,000 when it cost me $5 million
to be with?
Yes,
to be with one of the most qualified groups of people to be sitting next to.
Oh,
it's like an automatic like siphon. You are getting the people with the highest level of mindset and commitment.
I'm going to do something funny right here. So hold on. I'm going to try to do this real quick. So can you tell me how much the cost of a ticket is for a dealer?
$5.99.
Okay, hold on for a second. $5.99.
I'm going to give you a discount, but go ahead.
Okay, hold on. $5.99.
Doing calculations.
No. Watch this. This is going to be hopefully.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what he's doing. If you're listening to the podcast, he is like studiously looking at his keyboard with a little smirk on his face. Like, I can't wait to show you this.
What is that, Sir McLaughlin? Is it Eyes of the Angel?
Yeah. Arms.
Arms? Is it Arms?
Yeah.
That's it. Hold on. Let's go through this. So watch this. Here we go. For only how much? $5.99. You too could go to the Automotive State of the Union Conference. Matter of fact, $5.99 divided by, in the month of May, 31 days, that is only $19 a day. For $19 a day, you too can learn how to do more, how to be more, and how to achieve more. $19 a day. You should invest in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, why should anybody else believe in you?
All right, I'm buying the ticket. You've convinced me. It's hilarious, dude. Best commercial ever.
That's how I feel sometimes. I talk to these dealers and I'm like, you really don't want to better yourself. You don't want to plug in.
Well, again, I think it comes down to scheduling your priorities instead of prioritizing your schedule, right? It's like, I think you just brought it full circle, and, people have the best of intentions, and, especially for a new conference or like, oh, this is travel. I would venture to say, I mean, you can never make promises, but I know that if you show up at ASOTU, I know you're going to go away and be like, I can't believe I almost didn't go. Something's going to unlock. I just know it. It happens every year. It happened last year and the year before that with all the attendees. It's pretty special place.
I love it. Well, listen, Paul, I want to just thank you so much for taking the time. I know what it's like. You're pushing right on, knocking on heaven's door for your event. I mean, it's coming right close. For you to stop and talk to us for an hour. I know you're busy. Thank you so much. And one more time for people listening, you need to go to SotoCon. I've been there. I've been, the venue is gorgeous. He knows what he's doing. His team's know what he's doing. And Paul, officially, am I even speaking at your event?
No.
I'm not available. I'm doing something else. Have I been paid in any way, shape, or
No, you called me today.
Yeah, I literally
and you're like, hey
today.
man, I'm not asking for anything, but I love what you're doing. And I think I should get you in front. Like, I want to help. I want to help get people out. That's all. That's it. Zero financial relationship whatsoever.
So I want you to know, this is not a paid endorsement. This is at all. This is just because I also, Shakespeare said, you could steal this. Shakespeare said, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. I know a lot of people, I personally experienced it myself, but I know a lot of people that think the world of you, like Damon Lester, Damien Mills, just to name a couple right there. You know, my daughter, who I trust her opinion very much, you know, you got your keys, etc. So again, I think more people that are in a position that have a platform should help other people, and they don't need to have something in return. It's called altruism. When you do something without expecting something back, it's an altruistic gesture. And
I think to live my life that way, my friend.
No, you do lead your life that way. I was impressed with you, your family, and the way that you roll. So that's why I wanted to just do something tiny. I don't know what this is going to do, but hopefully you have a bunch of people that come that says, I heard you on the podcast.
I love it.
All right, so
the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is on your radio.
Give it a thumbs up.
The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is on your radio.
Share it with somebody. Come on.
The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is on your radio.
Be in the Facebook group.
The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is on your radio.
Come back next week.